Good afternoon. I think the sun's right behind me, isn't it? Anyway, we are off on an adventure, proper adventure. This is going to be. Ooh. Hello. Oi, oi. God, this is narrow. Flipping heck. I was going to say adventure starts out of your front door. It really does. I'm about 1 kilometre from home. I've never been through there before. Anyway, it's a big adventure. We're off bike packing on the Kemmon. Not doing so well with me intros. Better do it in a bit. Hold on. Right, well, let's try that again. So, it's a real adventure. We are off on. I don't know how long we're going to be. I really don't. It's definitely going to be one night. It's whether it's going to be 2. I don't think I'm going to hold out for 3 nights, but I'm packed for 3. Basically, I'm on the Kemmon. I'm going to rely on lunchtime stops, almost siestas, to plug in and recharge. I know where that's going to happen. I just need to get to those places, and I haven't got that part of the route planned. It's going to be on a whim. So if I'm feeling fit and strong, it's going to be off-road. If I'm feeling more tired, it's going to be the more direct route on road. Simple as that.
I want everybody and snap your fingers now. I want everybody and clap your hands real loud. I want everybody take a real deep breath and repeat after me. I love my baby, love my baby, love my baby, love my baby. Hey, and my baby loves me.
The idea, though, is that this would be one of the bigger roads. So I've set off quite late. It was quite a hot one today, so I thought I'd put it off a bit, and I'm going to get somewhere between maybe 3 hours of riding in, nice and gently, fairly flat, and hopefully find a nice place to camp out with a nice view. And that's all I've got planned for today. I know that by tomorrow, probably about 11, I can have 11 zis and find somewhere to plug in then. And then maybe a half decent lunch as well, just to top it right off. And then another maybe 4 hours in the afternoon before doing it all over again, finding somewhere beautiful to camp out. I've got my hammock, I've got my tarp, and I've got a quilt. Can travel. So I've not got a lot of stuff with me. Obviously the camping gear is lightweight. And I haven't got any cooking facilities whatsoever, and I can't see the point, because though Spain may have its ups and downs, one thing it does have, even though the villages are far apart, every village will have a bar. Every bar sells the best coffee in the world. They open up at 7, and they'll be selling the workers bocadillos, like field French sticks, hot and cold. So if I can have a hot breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I could equally, if I wanted to, stay in the bar, not drinking alcohol anyway, until 10, then I can catch up on the news on the TV, and then just head back to the camp for a kip, get up, go and have a coffee. I mean, a bike, even when it's going quite slowly, is 20 kilometers an hour. It's comparatively rare to go 20 kilometers between towns in Spain. It's easily done, but you don't have to. If you're looking for them, you can find them. And I'm hoping this is going to be the blueprint for every other trip that I do. But we did decide, Mrs. Yako and I, that really there's just no way I can do very long trips while there's any doubt about what my heart condition is. And we still don't know. We're still waiting. We've got another, well, by the time you see this, there'll be another week or 10 days before I find out. So it's all been going fine. I have been riding a lot. Haven't felt any pain or discomfort even. So I'm going to carry on. Well, it's too early in the ride, but this is exactly what I'm looking for later. It's I think it's actually cultivated pine woodland, so that a nice separation. They're not in lines or anything, I don't think, but it'd be easy enough to find two trees the right distance apart in there. I've got a little saw to clear the undergrowth with, so like that, but in maybe 2 hours. Perfect. Getting into some foothills now. Getting on a bit, so I do want to push on into those low hills, see if we can find a space. I want to watch the sunset. We've already had the first slight error, and that's my dry bag, which I had strapped to the pannier at the back. Just fell off. I had it strapped down tight before we left, and I can't figure out quite how it's happened. So I've just put it on my back. It's not a biggie, it's just got my spare clothes in. It's not heavy at all. Might get a little bit sticky back there, but that's about it. But we are finally heading into the hills now. We're on a road, that wasn't my intention. We got a little bit lost. So we're on a road, it's a beautiful smooth road, and it will take us straight up into the mountains now. I'd forgotten how hard this one was. Still, we're nearly there. It's the first 200 meters of climbing, all in one shot, so that's not bad. It's about 5.5% this one. I've got the Kemen in minimum because I can't afford to waste it this time. So I'm keeping an eye on my heartbeat. It's okay, it's good. That's a nice view down there. That's where we've just come from. I just really need to get out. All sorts of stuff going on in life at the moment. None of it's particularly good. But when all that's going on, if you can hop on your bike, well, when you're on the bike, there's things, aren't there, that you're looking at things, you're concentrating on whatever it is you concentrate on the ride. I don't concentrate on the road, I look anywhere else. But when you're on the bike, it's surprisingly difficult to think about other things for me. I'm not sitting here worrying about my health or the health of my family. That sounds selfish, doesn't it? Sometimes you need to get away though, even from yourself. But it's absolutely cracking. And look where we are. I mean, we're up on top of a little baby plateau now. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's much bigger hills in front of us, but we're not going to attempt those until tomorrow. So I'm hoping that up here on this plateau, hopefully over to the left, I'll be able to find somewhere to camp and watch the sun go down. The pines are looking promising. I don't want to be right on a road, even if it's a tiny one like this. A bit steep. We'll carry on, we'll find something. It's a bit early, but it just looks such a beautiful spot. I'm quite tempted. I don't know how far we are from the road. Not very. About 60 meters. But it's a lovely view. Just imagine sitting here in a couple of hours with the twinkling lights of the village lit up. We're in an olive grove, perfectly placed. These two trees were mine. I could have woken up, the sun would have come up just there. I could have just been hammocking between these two trees. But I've forgotten the straps. I've forgotten the straps to put up the hammock. So I can't put up the hammock. I've got one strap. But you kind of need both ends attached to a hammock, otherwise it's a ham and they're not so comfy. So I'm going to have to do the bit of a trek back home. It's going to be getting dark by the time I get there. I'm a little bit cheesed off. I don't do many of these. I'm full of the excitement and joy of, I don't know why I'm walking either, I can ride this. I'm distracted. I don't know, it's going to be dark, so no, I'm going to have to go home and start again in the morning. What a fantastic start to my adventure. Well, I really can't be cheesed off, can I, not with things like that? It's been a fantastic day's ride. I just have another one tomorrow, and the day after, and hopefully the day after. Oh, it's bumpy. Particularly one-handed. So anyway, I spent the night at home. Actually, in some ways it was quite good, because I realised that I'd forgotten my charger for the bike. It wasn't in the bag. So I wouldn't have got very far the following day. I would have turned up at a cafe and rooting through for my charger, and it wouldn't have been there. So I would have had to come back at some point today anyway. But now I am at least fully refreshed. I've got my charger. So, take two. I thought I was far too young and beautiful to be going senile, but here I am. I'm a little way away from home again, and I realise I've now forgotten my chest harness. Now, I'm not going back, so it's all going to be shaky hand camera stuff, and probably lots of ride-bys, because that works with the tripod nicely. Blimey, hope you can see that. I should apologise to Brian Housel, because quite fairly he's getting a bit fed up of me being able to do impossible climbs and not getting off and walking and huffing like he's used to. Well, that's absolutely true. My Garmin's not registering this climb. I'm guessing 20. I can check. It'll be a Strava segment, of course. But I'm talking to you, and all in the background is this little whirring noise. She's letting me do this. It won't be for long, Brian. I'll be back on the gain and pushing before too long. This is for you, Brian Housel. It's like a peach tree graveyard. I've never understood why they uproot and destroy peach trees that seem to be in absolute perfect health and in full production. And we were told that they have a limited life for full production, but look at these trees, they're just, you know, perfect, perfectly pruned. Well, they would have been, but they're not perfect now, don't get me wrong. public areas for barbecuing and play areas always seem to have trees which could really be used for hammock camping, but they often have loos, and sometimes the gents' loos have a socket for shaving. And I've done just about 40 minutes. It's about as long as I can bear before wanting to get underway again. About 40 minutes of charging, which is quite happy, quite handy, quite handy. It's happy too. But these are lovely little spots, and a lot of villages have them. And unfortunately this one doesn't have drinking water, the last one did. But it's, yeah, they just have places people can have barbecues. You're not allowed them this time of year. Come October you'll be able to use them again. And away! It's a little frustrating as well because my Garmin is playing silly buggers. I'm currently at minus 31 meters of elevation, whereas it's probably 200 or 300. And this is 0% grade when it's nearer 5. Just about everything's going wrong. This apparently is a new road. It certainly looks pretty swanky, but we're up in the mountains. Steepest so far has been a little baby 17%. I did have to put it up into medium setting, but what I'm trying to do at the moment is do everything on level 1 or level 0 off, and I'm finding it quite easy because of the gear range on this bike. But as soon as you get up, you've got to go back down again. Oh. But I did just have the rather disconcerting effect of having heat shimmering off my front disc brakes, an extremely strong smell of brakes as well. Coming down, I guess what's the equivalent of that 17%. It was very, 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 very steep. This is just a beautiful little middle of nowhere again, but with a cracking road to it. We're just winding our way higher and higher into these mountains. We're going right up that. Absolutely amazing road. So we're now on the road that was actually made to get the wind turbine parts up to the top of this ridge. It's a spectacular, absolutely spectacular location. And soon we're going to get to the top of the ridge. You can see where the turbine is. That one's closer. A kilometre and a half, I think, to the top. I'm in a medium power setting now. I'm getting tired. Saw some griffin vultures here a second ago. That's one of the better ones around. Beautiful ridges. You can see this is sedimentary rock here, and it's absolutely on edge. So obviously volcanic activity shoved it upwards, and the whole of this mountain that I'm sitting on. Of 12, so we're just coming past number 2 on this truly magnificent ridge. Very, very narrow ridge. It's the width of this road. The road's closed. I'll check. I don't think there's a way down from up here, apart from going along the ridge and then down the other side. I've got to go all the way back. The nice men let me through. I look pathetic, and they say, "Oh, go on, be quick." So, onward we go. So we're at number 7. This looks a bit steep. I might need both hands for this. And the way down, which I won't be able to show you. I haven't got the chest mount or the handlebar mount. But it's going to be quite a cracker. I believe, I seem to remember it is gravel. Hey, it's tarmac. That means I'll go a bit quicker. But I'm putting you away. Bye for now.